In this video, I'll be showing you guys how to create a super simple Flappy Bird game in Scratch. It only takes about 80 blocks of code and it's really easy to make. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to delete Scratchy. We don't need him anymore.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So now I'm going to make a new sprite and I'm going to name the sprite player. I'm going to try to make it look like a orange blob. Okay, that looks really ugly. Okay, now we have our player art done. So now we can move on to the code. Drag out one green flag clicked. I'm going to broadcast a message. I'm going to call it start game. Okay, when I receive start game, I'm going to forever. Now I'm going to create a new variable. I'm going to call the variable y velocity, and it's going to be for the sprite only. Hold up, let me fix that real quick. I need to add a hyphen. That looks much better. All right, so when green flag is clicked, I'm going to set y velocity to 0 and forever change y velocity by -1. Change the y by y velocity, and now as you can see our player is falling. We're just kind of stuck there, so when we receive start game, we're just gonna go back to 0 0. Okay, yeah, it just keeps falling up there. Okay, I want actually at the beginning I want to set y velocity to like 15 just to give it like a bit of a jump, then it goes down. Alright, that's better. Okay, now we're gonna add like the kind of flying part. Wait until the key wait until the mouse is down, like so if you click it, or if key space is pressed. Okay, and then we're basically gonna set the y velocity to 10. So if you see, if I click, I go up and I'm still falling. But if I hold like my mouse button, or if I hold my space bar, like I'm just gonna stay up, and we don't want that. Let's just duplicate this, and inside here we're gonna put not. So it's gonna wait until not, key space or mouse down press, and then it'll repeat the action. So you can press it once, but if you hold on it, it won't really do anything. You're gonna have to press it multiple times, which is exactly how we want it. What I like to do is I'm gonna add some like direction change. So basically every time we click space, we're gonna point in direction 45. Right now we're 90, now we point in 45, but that doesn't do anything. Like, it looks really awkward. So now I'm gonna grab an if statement, put it right here, and I'm gonna check every time my direction is less than 90. Where is this? Less than 90. Okay, well, not that. Every time my direction is less than 90, we're gonna spin. We're gonna move this way like by 4 degrees. Turn right by 4 degrees. So if we click, it looks kind of like we're flying. Like, so it's kind of a nice animation, and I like it. I like doing it in my Flappy Bird games. Now we have to move on to the pipes. These are the obstacles that we're gonna have to be passing through. Now I'm just gonna really quickly do the art. Okay, that's my art for the pipes, and it's done. It looks pretty good. So first thing we're gonna do is when I receive start game, I'm gonna hide the actual sprite, because we're gonna be using clones for this. It'll be much easier. We're also gonna hide when we receive green flag. So right now that's not even gonna show up. But we're in a forever loop. We're gonna put forever. Wait 1 second. We're gonna create a clone of ourselves. So we can use clones to show the pipes like moving across the screen. So when I start as clone, we're gonna show the sprite, and then we're gonna go to X position 300, which is like right off the screen. And for the Y position, we're gonna pick random from minus 75 to 75, because we just don't want it appearing like the same position every time, because that'll be really easy. We want it appearing like some up here, some down here. It'll just make the game harder, and that's what we want. We're gonna put a repeat until the X position is less than negative, I'll do negative 252. Change our X by -7, because we're gonna basically, our pipes are, they're gonna start right here off screen and they're gonna move here, and if we're moving left, we're moving like in a negative value. So we're gonna change our X by -7, and at the end of the script we're just gonna put delete this clone. So let's just see if that works right now. So my character is moving, and okay, yeah, that's working really well actually. Okay, now we're gonna go back in the player sprite, and we're gonna make it so that when we're touching the pipes, we're gonna just stop the whole game. So if touching the pipes, or I'm gonna grab an or out of from here, or or our Y position is less than, I'm gonna say about, that's about right there. If it's less than -180, then we're just gonna stop the whole project. So let's just test that. So I touch the pipe and then the whole game stops, and if I fall down, okay, then the game stops as well. Okay, now I'm just gonna add like a scoring variable. So we're gonna set the score. Wait, no, I have to first create the variable. Okay, score is gonna be for all sprites, so we can change it from wherever. So I'm gonna set the score to 0 when the game starts, and the scoring is actually gonna be done from the pipes because it'll be much easier to do it from there. Okay, now I'm gonna make a variable called already scored with a question mark, and this is gonna be for this sprite only. And basically, when I start as clone, we're gonna set already scored to 0. And inside the repeat until, I'm gonna put a if, and I'm gonna put an and operator, and then I'm gonna put a greater than. So if if the X position, okay, wait, I need to click on play. If the X position of player is greater than the X position of this clone, and already scored equals, where's the equals one? Okay, equals 0, then we're gonna change score by 1, and then we're gonna set already scored to 1. Okay, my bad, not that, to 1. Okay, so basically how this code works is when we start as clone, we're gonna set already scored to 0, and if the X position of the player is greater than the X position of the sprite, meaning if the player is like right here and the pipes are like behind the player, and already score equals 50 equals 0, then we're gonna change score by 1 and set already scored to 1, so it can't change the score again. Basically, it doesn't cause any glitches of you getting like multiple scores. Click start, and my character jumps up. Okay, that's a 1 point, and okay, this is really hard actually. I go through here, 1 point, go through here, 1 point, 3 points. Okay, so everything's working fine now. I'm just gonna add a background now. I don't know how I want this to look. Now that we have the background, we only have one final thing to do to complete this tutorial, and we're gonna add like moving background. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw the background. It's okay. Okay, now that we have our costume, now we're gonna make it move. So when we receive green flag, we're gonna hide, but when we receive start game, we're gonna set our size to 100. We're gonna go back layer because this is our background, so we don't want it covering the whole game. We switch to costume 1 and go to X0 and Y0. Okay, and we're also gonna create a clone of ourselves. Only one clone, because we're gonna use the sprite itself and a clone of it, because that'll make it easier. So forever, I'm gonna make a block. I'm gonna call it animate background. Animate background. Okay, now we have that block. We're gonna put it inside the forever loop. I'm not gonna program this block yet. First, I'm gonna finish this code. So I'm gonna start as clone. We're gonna set our size to 100%. Switch to costume 1. And instead of going to x0 and y0, we're gonna go to x 400 and y 0. Now I'm gonna do forever, and I'm gonna animate the background. That doesn't really do anything. It's still standing still because you have to add code inside the custom block. Change x by -5, and if my x position is less than -1 minus 459. If it's less than 400, negative 459, then we will set the x position to its current value multiplied, and then multiply it by -1. So it just goes to the opposite side. Let's start the game. And wow, yeah, okay, that's working completely fine. Our background is scrolling perfectly. It actually looks pretty nice as well. With all the coding done, this is what the final product of our game looks like.